So this is the concept to understand the winding of an alternator. Okay, so here I have taken 18 number of slots, 2 pole 3 phase alternator. Okay, so there are 18 number of slots on stator of an alternator and the number of poles are 2. That means the rotor will be inducing with 2 number of poles. Okay, so these are 2 poles, one is north pole, another is south pole. Okay, so these 2 are the poles. So let us understand the each and every concept regarding this alternator winding. Okay, first thing you have to calculate is pole pitch. Okay, pole pitch is nothing but number of slots per pole, and the second thing is M value, which is number of slots per pole per phase, and slot angle 180 by number of slots by pole. So these 3 are the important concepts here. Okay, so what is pole pitch here? Pole pitch is nothing but how many number of slots comes under one pole is nothing but pole pitch. Okay, how many number of slots comes under one pole is nothing but pole pitch. Pole pitch. Okay, and what is the value of M here? M is nothing but number of slots per pole per phase. That means how many number of slots are there under one pole for each phase. That means we will be having 3 phases here. Number of phases are 3. They are R phase, Y phase and B phase. So how many number of slots are there for to wind R phase and for Y phase and for B phase? Actually we will be having 3 phases here. That means winding of R phase will be like this. Okay, and Y phase will be placed 120 degrees away from R phase. Okay, this is R phase, this is Y phase, this is B phase. This is the stator winding of alternator. Okay, there will be 3 windings, R phase, Y phase and B phase, and they 3 are displaced with 120 degrees in space. Okay, so if this is my R phase, okay, this is my R phase supply and I wind on the machine, and this is my return for R phase. This is R phase, this is my return for R phase, this is R, this is R dash. Okay, if this is R phase, my Y phase will be placed 120 degrees away from R phase. That means after 120 degrees I will be having Y phase. Okay, if this is my input to Y, this is my Y phase, this is my returning of Y phase. Okay, this is Y phase. Okay, so what will happen to B phase? B phase will be placed after 120 degrees from Y phase. That will be equal to, this is my B phase, this is my B phase. Okay, the return of B phase will be like this. This is B dash, this is Y, this will be Y dash. Okay, you can see there are 6 terminals. Okay, this 1 dash, 2 dash and 3 dash. Okay, and you can connect them at the center. Okay, if you connect R phase and Y phase and B phase, okay, so not this, these are supply lines. After, if you connect B dash, okay, and Y dash and R dash, okay, if you connect the returns of the windings, this type of winding is called star connected winding. Okay, if you connect R dash, that means return of R dash, R, return of B and return of Y, R dash, B dash, Y dash. If you connect the secondary terminals of these 3 wind phases, that will be equal to star connected stator. Okay, and you can see there are 6 terminals in terminal box. Okay, so these 6 are R dash, Y dash, B dash are 6 terminals. Okay, if these 3, okay, this is my terminal box. Okay, this is R, Y, B. Okay, and this winding will go into the machine. Okay, and comes out like R dash, B dash, R dash and Y dash. Okay, this comes out of machine. Okay, this is my machine. Okay, R, Y, B will go into the machine and R dash, Y dash, B dash will come out of the machine. Okay, if you connect these 3 terminals, if you short circuit these 3 terminals, that will become a star connection. Okay, or if you connect these 2 like this, this will be delta connection. So this is the connection of stator winding in star or delta. Okay, so this is about connection of windings. So you will be having 3 phases R, Y, B. Okay, so you are going to place these 3 windings in these slots. Okay, so how it is happening, let us see. So you will be having 3 phases, R phase, Y phase, B phase in 3 phase system. Okay, and these 3 are 120 degrees away from each other. Okay, what is M saying? M is saying that how many number of slots are available under one pole for one phase. Okay, we have 3 phases. So that is number of slots are 18 in this example, and number of poles are 2 and number of phases are 3. That will give us the value of 3. That means there are 3 slots under one pole for one phase. That means if this is one pole, what is the pole pitch here? That is 18 by number of poles is 9. That means one pole is having vicinity of 9 slots. Okay, so let me give them the names, numbering. Let me, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Okay, these 9 slots are under north pole, under one pole, and let me consider 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th. There are 18 slots only, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 slots only. Okay, so this is the red color slots are under south pole and blue color slots are under north pole. Okay, okay, so this is my 10th pole, 10th slot, and this is my 9th slot. Okay, so these are the number of slots under one pole. We have 9 slots under north pole and we have 9 slots under south pole. Okay, that is nothing but pole pitch. Okay, then what is short pitch, what is full pitch winding? Here, if you keep one coil slot of a coil, there are 2 coil slot sides, okay, of a coil. This is my coil, this will go in, this will go out, this is my one coil. Okay, this is my coil side 1, this is my coil, another coil side 2. Okay, so if I keep my coil side 1 in the first slot, for a full pitch winding I have to keep the another coil side, that means this coil side, okay, after one pole pitch distance, that is, this is 1, pole pitch is 9, okay, pole pitch is 9, so I have to keep the second coil side in the 10th slot of one phase. That, let me consider it is R phase. I am going to place the R phase winding. Here I have 3 slots for each phase. I have 3 slots for R phase, 3 slots for Y phase and 3 slots for B phase. Okay, now so that I can keep 3 coils in 3 slots. Okay, this is my R phase winding. R phase, this is for R phase. Okay, so if I keep the second coil of R phase, okay, in the second slot, this is my first coil side. The next coil side will be after one pole pitch distance because it is full pitch winding. Okay, one pole pitch means 2 plus 9. 9 is the pole pitch here. 2 plus 9 will be 11. Okay, the second coil side of the R phase will be placed after 9 slots, that is in the 11th slot. Okay, so for R phase I have the windings like 1 dash and the second coil side is on the 10th slot, and the second coil of the R phase is, first coil side is on the slot second, in the second coil side is in the slot 11. Similarly, I will be having third coil of the R phase in the third slot and the second coil side will be in the 12th slot. Okay, if I place the third coil of R phase in third slot, the second coil side will be on the 12th slot. So this is our R phase winding. This is for R phase. So how can you keep the Y phase? Y phase will be after 120 degrees of R phase. Okay, Y phase will be after 120 degrees of R phase. Okay, this is 120 degrees physical placement of, spatial angle means physical displacement. Okay, so for that, what is 120 degrees here? That means for that I have to calculate gamma here. Okay, gamma is nothing but 180 into number of poles by slot. That will become 180 into number of slots are 2, number of slots are 18. That will give us 20 degrees. That means each slot is contributing 20 degrees to its center. Okay, 20 degrees. Okay, so I have to keep the Y phase 120 degrees away from R phase. How that will happen? Okay, if each slot is having 20 degrees, I can keep Y phase after 6 slots, that will be equal to 120 degrees. Okay, each slot having 20 degrees. If I keep the Y phase after 6 slots of R phase, that will be equal to 120 degrees. So after first slot, I have to keep the Y phase after 6 slots, that will keep our Y phase from R phase with 120 degrees displacement. I hope you understand. So each coil slot is having 20 degrees. Okay, this is my 20, 20, 20, this is 60, 80, 100 and 120. Up to this 120 degrees placement is happened. Okay, from 1 to 6 it is 120 degrees. So I can keep the winding of Y phase in the 7th slot. Okay, so my Y phase will be now 120 degrees away from my R phase. Okay, and I have 3 slots for Y phase. They are Y1 dash, okay, Y1, this, let me name this is R1, R2, R3. So these will become R1 dash, R2 dash and R3 dash. Okay, I hope you understand. So this is for R phase. There are 3 slots for my R phase and 3 slots for Y phase and 3 slots for my B phase. Okay, under one pole. So I have to keep the Y phase after 120 degrees from R phase. That will happen if I keep this Y phase after 6 slots from R phase, because each slot is having 20 degrees. If each slot is having 30 degrees, I can keep after 4 slots itself. 4 into 30 equal to 120 degrees. So after 4th slot I can keep the Y phase. Because it is 20 degrees, I have to keep it after 6 slots. Okay. So I have kept the Y phase, first two coil of Y phase in 7th slot. So I have to keep the second coil of this Y phase after 9 slots. Okay. Because it is 7, if I add 9, that will become 16. Okay. This will be my Y1 dash. Let us consider a second coil of Y. Okay. This is my second coil of Y2 in the place in the 8th slot. So I have to keep the second coil set in the 17th slot, that will become Y2 dash. I hope you are getting the point. So I will be having 3 slots for each phase. Okay. For Y phase also I will be having 3 slots. Okay. This is my third slot for Y3 Y phase, that is Y3, and this is Y3 dash. Okay. Under one pole I have 3 slots per phase. Okay. Here for under north pole I have 3 slots for Y phase, and under south pole I have 3 slots for Y phase. Okay. This 3 is nothing but number of slots per pole for phase. That means how many number of slots are there for one phase under one pole. Okay. I have 3 slots for Y phase under one pole. That means I have for north pole I have 3 slots, and for south pole also I will have 3 slots. Okay. So let me this is for Y phase. Okay. Let me consider our B phase. B phase will be placed 120 degrees away from Y phase. That will happen if I place the B phase after 4 slots from Y phase. That will become, if this is 7, if I add 4, 1, 2, sorry, after 6 slots, right? After 6 slots only I have to keep B phase from Y phase. Okay, that will become 7 plus 6 will be 13. So this is my B1. Okay, if I keep B1 here, I have to keep B1 dash after 9 slots to have full pitch winding. Okay. So there are 2 things to understand. For a full pitch winding, you are going to keep 2 coil sets of 1 coil. Okay, 2 coil sides of 1 coil away. That means the distance between 2 coil sets should be equal to our pole pitch. Coil span should be equal to pole pitch for full pitch. So what is coil span here? Pole pitch here, it is 9 in this example. Okay, so if you place 1 coil set in 1 slot, you have to keep another coil set after 9 slots. So that is about full pitch winding. And what is displacement of windings here? This is about space displacement of 3 windings. Okay, it is for pole pitch, this is for full pitch winding, and this is for placement of R by B windings. Okay, please remember that. Okay, so for this where are we? We are at B phase, right? So this is B1 after 9 slots. Okay, that means 13 plus 9 will be full pitch winding, that will be 22. So we don't have 22 slots here, so we only have 18 slots. So the number will be subtracted by the number of slots. That means we have to keep the B1 dash after in the 4th slot. Okay, so B1 is placed in 13, B1 dash will be placed in 13, 4th slot. Okay, this is my B1 dash. Similarly, B2 will be placed in 14th slot, B2 dash will be placed in 5th slot. Similarly, B3 will be placed in 15th slot, B3 dash will be placed in 6th slot. Okay, you can see the symbols like this is conductor coming from the plane, this is current going into the plane. Okay, this is current coming out of the plane, this is current going into the plane. It means if this is out, the opposite will be in. Okay, I hope you know that. Okay, this is current coming out of the plane, point towards this. If current has a phasor like this, if this is point, this point is mentioned here, that means current coming out of the plane, coming towards us. And if this is the end terminal of current, okay, if this is cross, that means current going into the plane, current going away from us. Okay, these two are the symbols. I hope you understand the placement of windings in the slots. Okay, for R phase, these 3 will give the information about how many number of slots are available for each phase under one pole. So that is 3 here. That means for north pole we will be having 3 poles for each phase, and under south pole also we will be having 3 slots for each phase. So that is the idea. So with this you have understand the placement of windings. So we can start with pitch factor and distribution factor further. Okay, thank you. Hello students, today we are going to discuss derivation of pitch factor. Okay, so you already know that the EMF equation of a full pitched concentrated windings alternator is E equal to 4.44 N pi F. So this is for EMF equation of concentrated and full pitched winding. Okay, so for a short pitched winding, the above equation will be multiplied with a factor that is called pitch factor. Okay, this is for full pitched winding. That means the coil span of the coil will be equal to pole pitch of the machine. Okay, so for short pitch winding we need to multiply this whole expression with our pitch factor. Okay, so this is for short pitch winding. And what do you mean by short pitch? Here the coil span will be less than pole pitch of the machine. Okay, so why do we need to multiply this Kp for short pitch winding? Because the Kp value here is less than 1, because the EMF generated in short pitch winding, let us see the pitch factor definition. The EMF generated in the short pitch coil by EMF generated in full pitch coil. Okay, actually the EMF generated in short pitch coil is less compared to EMF generated in full pitch coil. Okay, that means if let us say this is 0.8, sorry, this is, let me say this is 8 volts. Okay, and the full pitch coil voltage is 10 volts. Okay, so what is this ratio? That will be equal to 0.8. Okay, this is less than 1. Okay, that means our pitch factor is less than 1. The value of pitch factor is less than 1. So if you multiply a value less than 1 to this expression, that will be less compared to this one. Okay, so in order to make that difference, we are going to multiply our pitch factor to this full pitch winding equation to make it as short pitch winding. That means, let me say the full pitch winding has a voltage of 100 volts. Okay, and the machine is rewound for short pitch winding and pitch factor is about 0.8. Okay, so what is the EMF generated in the short pitch winding? That will be equal to 100 into my pitch factor, that is 0.8. That will become 80 volts. Okay, you can see this is the voltage for short pitch winding, this is the voltage for full pitch winding. You can see the voltage value has been reduced from full pitch winding to short pitch winding. Okay, so in order to indicate this decrement, we have to multiply our full pitch factor, full pitch winding with short pitch winding. So in order to indicate this reduction in voltage, we need to multiply some factor, that is called pitch factor. Okay, so this is the idea, and you can see the definition for pitch factor here. The pitch factor definition is EMF generated in short pitch winding or short pitch coil by EMF generated in full pitch coil. Okay, this is the definition for our pitch factor, which is denoted by Kp. Okay, and it can also be expressed as vector sum of induced EMFs per coil by arithmetic sum of induced EMFs per coil. So this expression is considered for derivation of pitch factor. Okay, now let us derive the expression for pitch factor. So first of all, let us see what is full pitch winding and what is short pitch winding. So this is my north pole, this will be south pole. Okay, adjacent poles, these two are adjacent poles. Okay, so I will be having slots like this and so on. Okay, so let me consider it has a pole pitch of 6 slots. Okay, there will be 6 slots between two adjacent poles. Okay, so what is full pitch winding? The full pitch winding is nothing but if I keep one coil side of the coil under one pole. Okay, so I have to keep the other coil side of this coil away from this one at a distance pole pitch. Okay, that means the distance between two coil sides should be equal to pole pitch, that is nothing but full pitch winding. So this is full pitch coil. Okay, so the coil is full pitch now, that means the coil span is equal to full pitch pitch factor. Okay, this is full pitch winding. So what is short pitch winding? That means we are going to reduce the coil span less than pole pitch. That means if I place my coil side here, I will be place another coil side at a distance which is less than pole pitch. That means I am going to place this in the slot which is adjacent to my coil number 7. Let me consider 7. Okay, so this is short pitch. Okay, instead of full pitch, I have reduced the pitch, that is this reduction in the pitch is called Harding angle alpha. Okay, so I have reduced this much of angle from full pitch, hence I have obtained short pitch winding. So here this will be equal to 180 electrical minus alpha. Okay, because the total span will be considered as 180 degrees, pole pitch equal to 180 degrees electrical. So here you can see that our angle will be 180 minus alpha for short pitch winding. This is for short pitch winding. Here this is coil span is less than pole pitch here. Okay, and now let me consider EMF induced in each coil side is ES. Okay, let EMF induced in each coil side ES. Okay, so I have considered the EMF induced in each coil as ES. Okay, so for a full pitch, let us consider for full pitch winding. for full pitch winding, what is happening here, the EMF induced for this coil side will be equal to ES, okay, and here the EMF induced in this coil is also be, that means if this is my first coil EMF, this is the EMF induced in the first coil side, okay, and this will be EMF induced in the second coil, okay. You can see there is 180 degrees phase shift in electrical, okay. This is our full pitch, that means in this will be the vector sum will be equal to resultant EMF, this is resultant EMF, okay. The resultant EMF for full pitch winding will be equal to ES plus ES, that will be equal to 2 times ES, okay. This is for full pitch winding, okay. There is a phase angle of 180 degrees. Now let us see for short pitch winding, okay. What is happening for short pitch winding? Short pitch winding, what is happening here? Here you can see here the production of EMF for coil number 1 is same, that is ES, okay, but the second coil's EMF is inclined by an angle alpha from full pitch EMF production. That means I can say this is 180, so 180 minus alpha will be like this, okay. If this is my angle alpha, okay, this will become 180 minus alpha, okay. So here this is ES and this is ES. You can see the inclination in the second coil side's EMF if we short pitch the winding, okay. Now let us see the resultant EMF for short pitch winding, that will be phasor sum of these two EMFs, okay. For calculations I am going to give them the namings. This is O, my A, O, this is A, this is B, and this is C. I am bisecting the OA, OB here, that means OC, OB equal to OC plus CB, OB which is equal to nothing but our resultant EMF. This is what we are going to find out, okay. OB will be equal to OC, OC plus CB, and OC is equal to CB. These are equal distance vectors, okay. So I can write OC, because CB is also equal to OC, I can write it as 2 times OC. Can I write like this? That means ER is nothing but the resultant EMF in short pitch winding is nothing but 2 times this vector, okay. So let us see the angle here. Here this is alpha, so this total angle will become 180 minus alpha. So this is 180 minus alpha, okay. This total angle will be equal to 180 minus alpha, and if I angular bisector this, these two will be equal to half of 180 minus alpha. So my new angle, this angle will be equal to 180 minus alpha by 2, that will become 90 minus alpha by 2, okay. This angle is now 90 minus alpha by 2, okay. So let us see that this is 90 minus alpha by 2, okay. So this is 90 degrees here, this is 90 minus alpha by 2. So this will become, what is the sum of vectors, sum of angles of a triangle, that will be equal to 180 degrees. So here I have 90 minus alpha by 2 and this is my 90 degrees, okay. What will be the this angle, that will be plus theta, okay. Now we can see here 180 will be cancelled out, theta will be equal to alpha by 2. That means this angle theta is nothing but my alpha by 2. This theta angle is alpha by 2, okay. Now I am going to apply, let me consider triangle OAC here, OAC, okay. So I am going to apply cos alpha by 2 in triangle OAC, okay. That will be equal to adjacent side OC by hypotenuse OA, okay. So that will be equal to OC equal to OA times cos alpha by 2, okay. I have multiplied OA to this side, that will become OC equal to OA times cos alpha by 2. Now OA is nothing but our induced EMF in the first coil side, that is ES, okay. That will be equal to OC equal to ES into cos alpha by 2, okay. So let us find out our resultant EMF, that is ER equal to 2 times OC. Here we got OC as ES times cos alpha by 2, so our ER will be equal to 2 times OC, that will be equal to 2 times ES cos alpha by 2, okay. We got the resultant EMF induced in short pitched winding. So what is the definition of our pitch factor? That is Kp is nothing but EMF induced in full pitch coil by EMF induced in short pitch, EMF induced in short pitch coil by EMF induced in full pitch coil, okay. So what is the EMF induced in short pitch coil? This is the resultant EMF induced in short pitch coil, that is equal to 2 times ES times cos alpha by 2, okay. This is EMF induced in our short pitch coil. Now let us see what is the resultant EMF induced in full pitch coil. This is the resultant induced EMF in the full pitch coil, that is 2 times ES. 2 times ES. Okay, you can cancel out 2 times ES and 2 times ES. So what is the left over here? We are left with Kp equal to cos alpha by 2. Okay, so the pitch factor is equal to cos alpha by 2. Okay, so you have to calculate this pitch factor for a short pitch winding, and you have to multiply this pitch factor to our EMF equation 4.44 n pi f into our Kp for a short pitch winding. Okay, so this is about pitch factor. So pitch factor is nothing but coil span factor, which is denoted with Kp, and this is for a short pitch winding. Okay, now for a distributed winding, we need to multiply this equation with another term, that is Kd. Kd is nothing but distribution factor. That means whenever we are distributed our armature winding, we have to multiply this factor. Okay, instead of concentrated, we have distributed. Okay, if it is concentrated, you don't need to multiply any factor like Kd, but for distribution, for distributed winding, you need to multiply this factor. Okay, now let us see what is this Kd. Okay, we have done with our pitch factor. Kp is nothing but cos alpha by 2, where alpha is our carding angle or short pitching angle. Okay, here our pitch factor is nothing but cos alpha by 2. Okay, pitch factor Kp equal to cos alpha by 2, where alpha is carding angle or short pitched angle. That means alpha is nothing but how much angle is short pitched. Okay, this is alpha. Okay, and you can see that the coil span is denoted with a variable, that is beta. Okay, that means alpha plus beta should be equal to 180 degrees electrical. Okay, so this is the another condition. Alpha is carding angle and beta is coil span, and these two must be equal to 180 degrees electrical. Okay, so this is idea. This alpha is carding angle, and beta is coil span. The sum of carding angle and coil span should be equal to 180 degrees electrical.